All right, so the Girls on the Run practice 5K that I set up at the school where my kids go was pretty successful, and what helped make it really fun was that we had an actual official finish line. And for some of you, depending on where your race is going to be held, or if you're having just a race that is not a part of Girls on the Run, it's just you want to have a race for your scouts or just kids in your neighborhood, this takes it up a notch. It's not just a ready, set, go kind of event. It's kind of a more official feel to it when you have a real finish line. So I'm going to show you how to make a finish line, and it's pretty easy. What I started out with, these are the supplies I used, and you have, basically this is less than, I would say, $25 to $30. You can do it even cheaper if you have some things on hand. So the first thing you're going to need is PVC pipe. I bought two 10-foot sections of PVC and just cut it into a 7-foot, two 7-foot pieces, and then the 3 feet I cut off is right here. And to make them, obviously, if this is Girls on the Run is a girls event, girl focused event, so pink goes over big with these girls. And what I found is that if you buy craft tape, you're going to spend a lot of money, so don't do that. In the construction aisle, over by usually like any kind of construction, like reflective tapes and so forth, you can find this. This is Glo-Pink flagging tape, and it's not sticky. It's just waterproof, and you can just tape it on one end of the PVC pipe and just I just twisted it, and wrapped it around and just secured the other end, and just did that for all the pieces. And I got it in 2 colors. Girls on the Run has a pink and green color. That's the pink and green are the colors that we use for Girls on the Run, so that worked out really well. So to get these to stay in the ground, I just use these reflective markers that a lot of people use these for when the snowplow comes through. They want to make sure it doesn't take out part of their lawn, and these work great for putting these posts up. You're going to want to have a mallet or hammer of some kind with you when you do this. And then these are the other flags that you can use, and it just worked out. I did not expect to find pink and green, but these were over in the same area where you can find the construction marking tape. You can usually find these flags, and you might not luck out and find pink and green, but I found these at Menards, and they are also very inexpensive. All right, my favorite part of the finish line, no finish line would be complete without a banner. I like to make these basically for every occasion. I don't really care what the occasion is, I like to make banners. So this one is very easy, it's felt. So you just make a triangle, it can be any size, and just make them all the same size. And 2 colors usually works. Last year though I had a rainbow one. This time I decided to go with the pink and green theme all the way through. So I'll take a step closer here and show you what I did. This is just 1/4 inch double fold bias tape, the white part right here. And what I did is I just cut my triangles and I sandwiched them in between. So they're in between the double fold bias tape, and then I just sewed right across, right along that edge. Now on bias tape, one side is a little bit longer than the other, so make sure that you're sewing on the side that is, I sewed on this side. As you can see, there's just a tiny bit of more fabric on the bottom. You want to make sure that you're sewing on that top part so you can make sure you're catching both pieces. And this is pretty quick and pretty easy, so if you have a sewer in your group, this is the way. And this is CraftSanity, so of course there's a sewer in the group. So yeah, this is the fun part, and we're gonna put this whole thing together here and show you how fun and easy this is. Go. Okay, so when we get over to this side, you want to make sure that your markers are down low enough that they're not going to be showing over the PVC pipe. This is kind of for aesthetic, but also for safety, because you just don't want that showing. So you just make them flush with the top of the PVC pipe, and then you can tie, balloons or whatever else you want to put on here if you wanted to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add more of this tape, and I'm going to go with the contrasting color now. So I'm going to add some tape because you want to create a finish line chute like you would see in some of these major road races. And for this, all you have to do is just tie this on. And since we're doing this for demonstration purposes today, not an actual race, I'm not going to make this super duper secure. But what I would do is I'd bring packaging tape, just clear packaging tape, and just tape that around so you make sure that it's going to hold. And I like to use this marking tape from the construction aisle at the home improvement store, because if you use crepe paper or other paper streamers and it starts to rain, which sometimes happens, and the sky might open up on us today, it looks like. We're hoping that it doesn't. So for that reason, you want to make sure that you're using something that's not going to give way strong winds or a little bit of rain. Okay, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pull it across, and with the wind it's a little bit tricky here, and this stuff does just tear, which is nice. And usually when I set up these finish lines, I work with I usually get another parent to work with me, so it's kind of a two-person job, and it's fun to go to school early, so this is in place before the kids see it, because it's kind of a nice little surprise the first time the kids see the finish line that they're going to. And when you get one layer done, I come back and I do another layer, just because it looks a little more serious, and I'm pretty serious about finish lines. It's no joke, man. And I don't really worry too much about whether or not it's completely level. If you have people that are real concerned about that, let them be the ones to do this, because I'm just like, okay, we're gonna get this thing done quick, and we're gonna do it without investing tons of money on things that are super permanent. The nice thing about this finish line is that all the pieces I can keep in my garage. PVC pipe, you know, I do find that every year I do have to rewrap it because sometimes this stuff gets messed up a little bit. So we got one side done. Just gonna go back, start over here. And so this is something that, you know, you can do this for not just Girls on the Run. This could be, you have a boys running team at your school, or you just want to have a neighborhood 5K or run around the block and let the kids finish on someone's lawn. This just takes it up a notch, and I really wish I would have gotten to do this when I was a kid. This would have been awesome. And I think that's one of the cool things about parenting, is that it gives you a chance to relive your childhood a little bit and do stuff that you know would have really made you happy when you were a kid. And this does not take a lot of time. That's why I love these projects that are pretty quick, pretty easy, and it puts a smile on a kid's face. That's the funnest part of this. Okay, the rain is about to fall on us, so I gotta make this quick here. These construction flags you can use if you want to lengthen the chute so it's a little bit longer. We use these flags to kind of mark the course, and also just make our finish line a little bit longer. So what I did, it's very simple. Totally self-explanatory. You just space these out, and you want to make sure, I kind of have them come out a little bit further, so when the kids are running this way, you kind of angle them out a little bit, so they're not going to run into them because they are on metal. So be very careful about that, and explain these things to the kids before they start running. Okay, so this just makes the race chute a little bit bigger. But it's fun to mark the course with things that are colorful, and you don't have to be super specific about your spacing. It's not that big a deal. This is supposed to be fun. All right, and there you have it. You have a finish line. So, John, now that we have a finish line, we have to run through it.
Okay, let's do it.